I'm Bob the plumber, and I found out in just a few minutes.
Hey everybody, Alex Newman here again, broadcasting live from Jekyll Island at the Red Pill Expo, and we have our next victim here. I'm sitting here with Douglas Cirignano. He is the author of American Conspiracies and Cover-Ups. He's one of the exhibitors here at the Red Pill Expo. Doug, thank you very much for being with us.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
So, conspiracies, is this just another conspiracy theory book? Are you wearing a tinfoil hat? What's going on here?
No, you know, I think if you recognize that there's conspiracies, you get closer to the truth of politics. You know, I'm not into imagining conspiracies. You know, are there aliens? Did they shoot JFK and all that stuff? You know, I think if you recognize, like the guys who came to Jekyll Island to form the Federal Reserve, they were doing it secretively. So, what does that tell us? It tells us the Federal Reserve is a bad system, right?
That's right.
And so, I think if you realize that people are pulling the strings from behind the scenes, conspiracies, you get closer to the truth of politics. You know.
Yep. Very good. So the Fed, that's one of the big conspiracies. We're sitting here on Jekyll Island where in 1910, some of the top bankers in America got together with people from Washington, D.C. and decided they were going to enslave humanity with a central banking system for the United States. So what are some of the other conspiracies that you address in this book, Doug?
Address the income tax. You know, the income tax was created the same year as the Federal Reserve. Mm-hmm. It was probably the elites. That's the way they want to get more and more of our money, I think, by charging interest to provide us with money, and then how are they going to pay the interest? They need an income tax. So I think both the income tax and Federal Reserve we should probably abolish. And I think they're both, you know, sort of conspiracies in that the elites of the world, they have a corrupt system through the income tax and the Federal Reserve.
Yeah, absolutely. And so you interviewed really some of America's top experts on these subjects. You've got Jim Marrs on here. You've got Noam Chomsky, radical left wing. Everybody does kind of buck the system sometimes. You've got Edward Griffin, of course, the patriarch of the Red Pill movement. Man, we've got a lot of people on here. Bev Harris, of course, the election reform activist. Joe Bannister. Charles Key, who actually I know him. He's from the Oklahoma legislature. So you've got some really neat ones on here. JFK. All right, let's talk about JFK. What happened to JFK?
Well, I interviewed a guy who was one of Lyndon Johnson's lawyers, and he says Lyndon Johnson was a mastermind of JFK's assassination. I don't really agree with that. I think he had something to do with it. You know, I think JFK was going against the military-industrial complex, the CIA, you know, and for that reason, you know, if you go against the political establishment, then you're going to get wiped out. I think Johnson had something to do with it. But this guy, he says he was a mastermind. Some people believe that, but I disagree. But I think he was going against the CIA, military-industrial complex, which is what Trump is doing now. So that's why they're trying to get rid of him, I think. But hopefully he'll survive, because I think he's got a lot of good ideas, Trump.
Yeah. Yeah, actually, I interviewed Roger Stone shortly after Trump was elected. Stone's been Trump's advisor since the 80s, and he said, yeah, they're going to do everything possible to get rid of him, up to and including what they did to JFK, killing him. So that's intense, but you know, we can hope for the best. He is doing some important things. Now, let's talk about suppressed cancer cures. Give me an example of a suppressed cancer cure.
Yeah, it was a guy named Linus Pauling. He won the Nobel Prize for chemistry back in the 60s, I believe. He said if you took mega doses of vitamin C, that might help you with cancer. He really believed it, but he could get no cooperation with the cancer establishment. And he goes, because they're making so much money selling chemotherapy, you know? And there's a lot of other things like that. So this guy, Linus Pauling, he said, everyone should know that the war on cancer is largely a fraud. And he, you know, he won the Nobel Prize for chemistry. Wow. And so that's one example. There are other examples, you know?
Yeah, yeah. And J.R. Griffin has spoken about that quite extensively. He's actually got a whole book about it, The World Without Cancer, huh? So good. Well, in the last couple minutes we have left here, Doug, what are some of the other things that you want people to know about your book? Where can people find it? And, you know, why should they buy it?
Well, you know, it's one of the best-selling conspiracy theory author books on Amazon right now. You can get it on Amazon or my website, Conspiracy Theory, American Conspiracies and CoverUps.com. You got to put a slash between cover and ups, and American Conspiracies and CoverUps.com. Douglas Cirignano. If you Google my name, I've been on some interviews, and it's on Amazon. You can get it cheap now too. So, and I think it's a really good red pill. I think for people who don't know what's going on yet, but even people who already know what's going on, I think they'd enjoy it too.
Excellent, very good. So, and you can get this on Amazon also, huh? Excellent.
Yeah.
There you go, folks. American Conspiracies and Cover-Ups with Douglas Cirignano. Phenomenal interview. Thank you very much, Douglas, for being with us. Thank you for being here at the Red Pill Expo. Before we let you go, what did you think about the Red Pill Expo? Has it been fun so far?
Yes, it has been. It's you know, it's a nice place. I think some good speakers, and a lot of people bought my book, so that's good.
Excellent. Hey, well, thank you very much, Doug. Thanks, folks, for watching. We will be back with you shortly with our next guest to go find a couple more people. Sorry you couldn't be with us, maybe next year, but in the meantime, we'll come back to you live in just a little bit with some more guests. Thanks very much for watching.